Okay, so I'm Gerald Kelley, graduated in 2008, so it has been a while, obviously. And I'm here to talk to you about my company, iSports Academy. So, iSports Academy, you have the presentation in front of you for this, by the way, that printed document that's down there. But iSports Academy is an online virtual learning environment for children to further develop their sporting skills. The sports we're starting with are football and rugby. Now, looking at the competitors in this market, I mean, obviously, everyone will say, oh, the online market is full of everything. But from a player perspective, there's not a lot out there. There's MLB Digital Academy, Major League Baseball. They launched earlier this year and have got it going and doing it quite well. There's Up My Game, again, launched earlier this year after getting £250,000 worth of seed funding. And then there's iSoccer. They're the only ones we've found that really compete with what we're offering. But again, we've got our competitive advantage against those. So looking at the actual size of the market, why are they in it? Why are we wanting to enter it? Within the UK and the US, we've looked at the number of children aged 8 to 18, which is in line with the long-term athlete development plan, and for children to be playing at junior clubs. So actually we feel that if they're at a junior club, then they're on the pathway to want to develop and want to improve. So out of that, there's 5.2 million children within the UK and the US in our target market. Looking at what we expect to achieve, we have spoke to a number of tech companies and looked around, and actually 5% of the market is our aim. So 5% of that market in 5 years, that's our sales forecast, if you like, so 260,000 subscribers. The value of it, £6 a month as a monthly subscription, meaning an actual total revenue of just over £10 million in year 5. Costs of that are about 2.5 million, so EBITDA 7.6 million in year 5. That offers our exit strategy right there, because actually we've looked at the enterprise value and we've calculated 20 times EBITDA based on a number of other tech companies, and that's what, there's a few things we've had from advice that we've spoke to a number of people, giving us £150 million valuation in year 5. Looking at the customers and consumers, we have got customers and consumers, so the parents themselves are our customers, they're the ones who are actually going to transact and buy from us, but the users are the children. So we need to actually appeal to both of those in terms of it being worthwhile for the children to use it, but also for the parents to want to pay for it. So why me? Why should I win today? Again, I've worked in this market for 10 years now. I've progressed from casual coach up to now head of a sports and education trust. I was in a board meeting this morning. We've gone through a lot of things actually, which has developed me as a person, but actually I think things that have actually helped me in an entrepreneurial life as well. That in the organisations that I've worked in, cash flow is a massive issue. So things like having to chase down debtors is a massive problem. And again, it's things that I've had to do and am currently doing actually. So I've got that. Then there's just the belief that this product will actually work. It will make a difference to sport in this country. You know, you look at the Greg Dyke review of the FA, the 4 things that he's identified, one of them isn't actually the player themselves. So we actually think that we can fit on top of that Greg Dyke review. We have spoke with the FA board members as well who love the concept and are supporting it. So that helps our case. In terms of what will we actually spend it on, want to build a real basic user interface. So what it will look like, how it will come together, and then how it will work. Start doing some of the video content. So actually, when we go to investors, I mean, we've been to a number of investors, and we've got more coming up, and there's some quite positive conversations going on at the moment. But if we had something tangible to show them and to take to them, then, again, I think it would really help our case. In terms of what we're looking for as an overall investment, we're going for £900,000 in total. We're breaking that down into 3 rounds of funding. First being for 150,000, then 320,000, and then 530,000. Again, different equity stakes being given away and debt financing along that way. So that is iSports Academy. Any questions?
Thank you, Gerald, for that. So now we're passing over to the judges. Any questions you want to throw at him?
You talked about we. Who's we?
I have a business partner who I've worked with at Oxford United, Alistair Lane's his name, he's the head of sports science, and I felt actually having someone like him on board was good for me. And he's very well connected. He worked in London for quite a while, and we've spoke with people like Damon Buffini, who was a personal contact of his. Damon is chairman of Permira, and a few other people that he's brought to the table, and that's why I felt the need to get him involved.
Sorry to be blunt, but on the market side of things, I think you're slightly off, and you kind of corrected yourself during your pitch. Your market's not 5.2 million kids in the US and the UK. It's a number of parents, and a number of parents that can spend £6 a month. It's actually quite a high cost for an idea that they're going to be paying for where they can't see the tangible benefit straight off. Have you any idea what similar software programs, kids monitoring programs exist out there that are in that price range that might give you a better feel for the market?
Again, as I say, there's not much out there at the moment for this. In terms of the competitors out there, we've actually priced it just below them.
No, but you're talking about sports competitors. I'm talking about competitors full stop. Because my choice as a parent is I spend whatever X number of £100 a month on my child, supporting with their food, their clothing, their schooling, whatever, and there is a budget left over at the end. I can choose to spend that on maybe a maths tuition programme or a sports tuition programme, and that's the comparator. So do you have any idea what people spend for that kind of tutoring software?
No.
Okay.
What we have done is, through market research, having spoke to a number of parents at junior clubs, so through focus groups, that's where we've got our price point from those market research things. And actually most of them, especially within the rugby environment, had said that £6 a month was cheap. But again, we'd like to keep it at that point. I suppose the point there is, across the mass market, is it still considered cheap and would they pay it? But again, what they said was if their children wanted it and felt it was going to help them develop and help them progress, then they'd pay for it. And this is all direct from feedback. But I do get your point, I will look at that.
I'll just ask a question about the UK-US split. I just wanted your view on what you would need to do to address both markets, because the cultures are very different, and a lot of British companies that are very successful here fail when they go to America. And linked with that, you appear to be targeting football and rugby in America rather than baseball and American football.
Yeah, the reason for that is, I mean, they are slightly smaller markets over in the US, obviously. I mean, baseball has someone operating in that through the MLB. Basketball has double the amount of children playing, but actually it's a sport we know. Within the US, the difference in the way that we need to position it and how we need to market it, half of the children playing are girls. So actually through the FA and the WSL, we would look to use that to make sure that there's female role models on there. So actually they can relate to that as well. So it's not all male dominated. So that's a big part of that. But actually, when you look at the US, I mean, the US are actually ahead of us in terms of tech and how they use it. So, yeah, I think as long as we get the partnerships right in the US and sell the right way, I don't see it being a problem.
You've answered the question, because I was going to ask you whether this was just aimed at boys. And do you know why I asked that? Because every single picture in here is of a boy.
If you look on the back.
Where are they going?
Playing rugby.
Oh, well, that's all right. My mistake. I would not have identified that as a girl. Sorry, it was a very ambivalent picture.
It is very ambivalent, isn't it? Just a final one for me then, Gerald. Yeah, you're clearly very confident, and you've clearly done this a few times before. You said you're looking for investment, and you said it would be nice to have something to show them. What sort of thing are you looking for to show investors?
This, as I said, if we can create what the user interface will look like, we've then got something tangible when we go to it. We're not just trying to paint a picture in people's minds. We've actually got an iPad, a computer that will say, this is what the front end will look like, this is what the video content looks like, and this is how it all comes together. That's, I think, the piece of work we need to put together. It's the part that, through some pitches we've had for investment, people haven't been able to visualize exactly what it is. So actually that would really help us. And as I say, it's not going to be the starting of the software, because that cost is a lot higher than £1,000. But as I say, we can put together the baseline of what it will look like, and so people get a better idea of how the software will come together.
Okay, and what's your timeline on that?
That will only take us about a week, but then the actual development time is 6 months. And yeah, but as I say, I've got some interesting chats coming up for further for seed investment, which hopefully will get us off the ground quite soon.
That's it. That's our question time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.